If you're thinking differently, something is changing, not just about your life, but something in your life is changing. You feel uncertain. You feel the energy is really erratic. If that's how you have been feeling, then you have been feeling mentally restless, questioning everything. It's like your mind won't slow down. Your thinking is racing. You feel that there is an energy pushing you to move forward, take an action, but the path is not clear. Well, it's not random. Something is happening right now. We've got Uranus that just entered Gemini, and it's going to stay there for another 8 years. Well, we are entering a powerful shift. It's called generational shift. Generational shift because the outer planets are generational. They stay for a very long time, lots of years. Pluto stays about 20 years. It's going to stay there about 20 years from 2024 until 2044 in Aquarius. We've got Neptune staying in Aries for about 14 years. Saturn is a little bit of a quick mover. It's going to stay there for about 2 to 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years. And now we have Uranus that just entered Gemini that will stay there for another 8 years. It happened on April 25th for some people, depending on where you are, and other people it happened on April 26th. So, what is happening? Well, it's a new transformation, as I mentioned, for another 8 years. It's how we think. Gemini is communication. It's how we think, how we process, how we interact with other people. It's also the processes in your life, what's happening in your life right now. This is Uranus in Gemini, and it makes a beginning of a generational, collective mental awakening because Uranus is a shaker, and that's what I'm going to explain. So what is Uranus? Uranus is called the disruptor, the shaker, the awakener. It's a sudden change. It's unexpected sudden change. And before we get more precisely, I want to say that Uranus is the force that breaks the patterns because it's a disruptor. But it doesn't do it politely. It actually forces it. It interrupts. It doesn't ask for permission. It shakes and it reveals. Especially in Gemini, it's revealing something new, a new information for you. So the energy feels like suddenly you are realizing something that you haven't seen before. Unexpected events could take place, not for everybody, depending on what's happening in your personal chart. It's a need for freedom. It's a sense that something is shifting before you could fully understand it. Energetically, Uranus is electric. It's fast, buzzing, like something disrupts the norm, the pattern, unpredictable. And in astrology, it's considered the higher octave of Mercury, which means that it operates at a higher level of the mind. So it's all about mental energy, especially in Gemini. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of mental energy there. So instead of the logic and analysis that we usually tend to follow when we think, it's about truth that's coming, unexpected, arrives instantly, not step by step. You just have a revelation, a realization that was not there before. Okay. Hi, I'm Christine. I'm evolutionary astrologer and modern astrology and a life coach. And it's my passion to guide you and help you on your path using the science of astrology. It's my pleasure that you're here. Welcome if you're new, and a warm welcome if you're back. Thank you for following me. If you hit the subscribe button and the like, it helps me and help my channel to grow. Thank you so much. Okay, so what is Uranus in Gemini means and why everybody, or precisely astrologers, have been saying that it changes everything. First of all, the sign of Gemini is the sign of thinking, of communication, and how you perceive information and how you interact with others. It's a perception. It's a pattern of your life. And the pattern of your mind is how you communicate in your life through your mind. So it's very important because without our voice, without our communication, well, we're not really interacting with anything outside of us. When Uranus, the planet of disruption, enters Gemini, and as I said, Uranus is the awakener, it's the disruptor. It goes into Gemini, it does not only change events, it's actually change way more than that. It changes how you perceive, how you communicate, how you interact with other, the situations around you in your life right now, the thoughts that you're having, the patterns of your thinking. And that's why many people have been thinking, I can't think the way I used to do anymore. Mentally, I feel overstimulated or pressured, and there is more reactive in conversations. You jump in reactively, especially when we have Mars in Aries right now, and many more than one planet in Aries. We've got Neptune, we've got Saturn, we've got Mars, we've got Chiron. So it's like you jump in defensively, you just want to react and you want to get the words out, and it's you're more reactive in your conversations, and you're suddenly are aware of something that you cannot ignore anymore. This is the energy right now. It's not just information, it's the reprogramming of your own perception. So historically, Uranus have been in Gemini back in 1941 until 1948-49, because it stays about 8 years with the retrogrades time. And when we think about that, when we think about the, as soon as I mentioned the 1941, a fly was coming in and out. It's like a buzz. And this is exactly what was happening globally at that time. It was the war. It's the World War II. And this war reshaped the world. So we go historically to see what events happen when we have a sudden change in one of the outer planets, because we tend to study astrology from an historical background. So at that time, when we think about what happened during the war, it was the mass of communication. The way communication was changed. It was not the same anymore. The radio became active. It was transforming and transmuting all the noise in the back. There was a lot of information being exchanged, a lot of news. It was quicker. Before that, it used to take a lot of time to transfer or communicate any piece of information. When Uranus went in Gemini at that time, there was a speedy way of communicating the news, especially the news of the war. And at the same time, there was an early development in coding, in computer, in the way, core breaking of the way patterns that technology happened. So major shifts in how information was shaped and transformed and controlled as well. At this time, we're talking about the time back in Uranus, 1941 until 1948-49, information moved faster, narratives changed very rapidly, and the communication became a tool of power. So now we have to communicate, transfer this news, let people know what's happening and all that. That brings us today to what? Or how can we take this piece of information to relate to what's happening today? Well, we are living already in an era of digital communication. So we've already been there. There is an information overload. You've got information everywhere. You open your phone and you've got all these tons of information, different channels, different way of communicating. And it's a rapid shift in perception. You can read something, a few seconds, you can read something else, totally contradict what you just read, depending on who is communicating and sending the message. So this transit that we are right now does not start from zero. We're actually continuing what is already. So what's happening is actually, it's going to accelerate what has already been. We have to put into perspective that Uranus in Gemini does not act solely. There are other interactions with other planets at the same time. And the main thing that we need to talk about right now, Uranus isn't acting alone. It's forming support to Pluto in Aquarius. It's also forming a support to Neptune in Aries. This one is a sextile, not a trine. So imagining that these kind of like interactions between them, Neptune is imagination, it's spirituality, it's the belief system, and Pluto is the transformation, the power, the truth. So when Uranus comes in, interact with these two outer planets, powerful planets, in a harmonious aspect, it actually means for us that our thinking is not just changing, our belief system is evolving. There is a radical change. We are seeing through illusions more clearly. And we are recognizing deeper truth in our life, in our relationships, in our personal life. With Uranus and Gemini, you are being asked to look at the roles you are currently playing in your life. So what are the roles? Are you a mother? Are you a partner? Are you a reliable one? People depend on you. Are you a single mom? Are you a career oriented? What kind of role are you playing in your life right now? And these roles are actually building or have been built on expectations from others. So the one that holds everything together, are you that one? Is this the kind of role you're playing in your life right now? And what is required from you that once made sense, but because of the change that's happening right now, for you, you feel that there's something changing. The truth that you were kind of like were ignoring before, didn't want to see, it's being revealed to you. The narratives that were shaped, the old narratives about you and about your roles and about what is expected from you. These old stories, what have you been telling yourself about who you are, about what you need to do? And now those stories do not fit the same anymore. You might feel that I have outgrown this version of myself. That doesn't represent me anymore. It doesn't feel comfortable to me anymore. The discomfort is the problem. It's awareness. Because Uranus doesn't just change the external life, it actually acts on a deeper level. You're going to change the way you see yourself. And the once perceptions that you had of yourself, of your roles, of the expectations are shifting. You can't keep living from an identity that no longer feels real to you. And this is one of the biggest themes right now. It's like letting go of those old narratives, of what you used to tell yourself, of what you used to say, I am expected to do this. This is what other people want. What about you? What do you want? That's a real question that Uranus is shaking and pressing you to ask. Like there's a pressure right there. It's not in a dramatical way, and it's not going to happen all at once. It's an outer planet. It moves slowly. It's going to build in the next 8 years, but there will be changes, a lot of changes in your life. These changes can shape how you see yourself, how you want to be seen, how you're going to change the roles that you have been playing, not necessarily let them go, because we are still going to be parents and partners, and we're going to play all the roles, but we're going to play it from a different perspective, a different way of perceiving those roles. So it's a moment of realization. It's like you're not saying yes to what means no anymore. And you're not shrinking in conversations, for sure. It's like a big way of conversations. Patterns are changing now. And you're not continuing the patterns just because these patterns were familiar to you. This is the change right there. So there is something very important that is changing as well. It's your voice. It's how you express yourself. There is an urge with the energies right now that you're going to say the things that you have been holding yourself back to say. You're going to be more honest with yourself and with others. And you're going to express the truth in a way that feels uncomfortable, but necessarily. That's exactly the energy. So this is the influence of Uranus, and it's moving through the sign of communication. And this is how it's going to manifest in our life. It's not just about thinking differently. It's about speaking differently as well, perceiving other information and replying back. So many of you, especially in the stage of life where you are right now, it's very profound. This energy is very profound because you're no longer building your identity, you are refining it, right? We're not building our identity, it's already been built, but we are refining it because it will fit who we want to be in the coming phase in our life. So you're choosing what stays in your life, what doesn't stay in your life. You're choosing what evolves and how you're going to evolve with that. You're not going to put yourself out there for something that doesn't work for you anymore. So instead of asking, why do I feel off? What is happening? Why do I feel this much mental pressure? Try asking, what version of me is trying to emerge right now? Because this is the moment about, you're not losing yourself. You're actually meeting yourself again. You are more honest than before. And this depends on different aspects in our life, because depending on where is Uranus in Gemini in your chart, this revelation and this realization and this change will take place. So I'm going to go through each of the rising signs. Try to listen to the rising sign to know exactly the area that will be impacted in your life. But if you want to listen to your moon sign or your sun sign, of course you can do, and it's more additional layer. But I would say it's more based on intuition, because the real place that this change is actually happening in one area in your life, and it's based on the rising sign. I will start with Aries rising, and right now in Aries, the Uranus in Gemini is happening in your third house. Wow. That's exactly the place that Gemini loves to be, because it's the place of communication. It's its home, house. It's your mind. It's your mental thinking. It's also your siblings, the neighborhood you were raised in. So what's happening right now is very direct. It's your thinking. It's your speaking patterns. It's your communication. These are changing rapidly. You might see that you speak more. You speak your truth more often. You challenge the conversations. You're not just accepting what no longer works for you. You're thinking more faster. Your voice is evolving, and it's not going to go back. This is going to stay there for another 8 years. So it's not just thinking differently. This is a complete rewiring of your mental processes, of your mental patterns. You're likely going to spend years communicating in ways that you kept smooth, but it's no longer going to be like that. You're choosing your words carefully now. You're avoiding conflict before. This was before, like what you have spent years in choosing your words, communicating in a way that do not rise any conflict, explaining yourself to others so that other people feel comfortable. Well, that's shifting. This is not going to be the next 8 years. You will notice that you are interrupting other people more. You are stopping other people from continuing their conversations, not out of rudeness, but out of urgency. There's an urgency that you want to speak your voice and you want to speak your truth, and you are going to say stuff that's no longer filtered, like words are going to come up, and you might feel mentally faster than usual around other people around you. And it's no longer willing to adapt or edit your truth to maintain peace. As much as it's a great energy, I highly recommend just be mindful to how the change is happening and how you are evolving with it, and try to adapt periodically and smoothly as it goes. So the stage in your life right now could happen in conversations with your adult children. It could happen with long-standing conversations in dynamics in relationships. It could happen of your ability to express yourself without feeling guilty. So you can see this happening. So it's about reclaiming your voice, and not perfectly, but honestly. Okay, so I wish you a very happy Uranus in Gemini in the third house, and all the best for you. Okay, I'm going to shift to the Taurus rising. Taurus rising, this Gemini, Uranus in Gemini is happening in your second house. And this second house is the house of resources, your personal resources. It's your money, it's your self-worth. It's also your stability. Your perception of value is shifting right now. It can show up in rethinking finances, rethinking your self-worth. It's like questioning what security means to me. How much money do I need to maintain my life in the next phase in my life? You're redefining your self-worth. There is a price tag right now, and this price tag is very clear. It's like, this is how I look at myself as self-worth, and this is what I need to receive to be able to feel that, okay, I'm worthy of this income. I'm worthy of this money. Stability is no longer what it used to be. It's that point that there is disruption, and how you thought was secure before. This is changing. You've built your life around financial stability, being dependable. You could be dependable, not everybody is, but if you have been depending on one source of finances in your life, and you've been holding everything together materially, emotionally, to maintain this kind of security, now you are realizing that This definition of security might not fit your life or might not support who you are becoming anymore. So what's happening actually that you might rethink spending, how you're spending money. Do a little bit of more calculations and budgets. You might earn more or try to earn more and save more as well. Questioning where you have built in your life that still feel aligned with you and what doesn't, that needs to go. You might feel uneasy about money. It's like, because it's not unstable, but because your values are changing. It's like what I just said, your price tag is different right now. So the deeper layer is your self-worth is no longer tied to what you provide or maintain. It's actually tied to re-evaluating financial roles in partnerships. How much am I giving and how much am I receiving? Partnerships, when I say partnerships, it could be marriage partnerships, any love partnerships or business partnerships. You're letting go of, I have to be responsible for this, that, and this. And you are redefining what enough means for you. So happy Uranus in Gemini, and I wish you all the best, Taurus. Okay, for Gemini rising, it's happening in your first house. And this house is the house of identity, the house of self-perception, and it's the house of how other people see you. This is a personal transformation. It's very core because you are changing. It's not only changing, you're changing how you are thinking about yourself. And you're changing how other people see you. You're changing how you're showing up, how you're being perceived. So this is a full identity reset. It's like mentally first and then externally. It's like happening inside, but then it's going to go outside. This is one of the most profound placements because we've got angle house here. 1, 4, 7, and 10 are angle houses. And this is one of the angle houses. So it's more profound. It's more intense. There's, you're not just changing your thoughts. You are changing who you are becoming and how people realize and see you in a different way. So your identity that you have been carrying for years, the way you present yourself, the way other people expect to see you, the version of you that feels familiar, this is outdated. It's going to start to feel, that's not me anymore. And you might feel, okay, I need to change, or you are actually changing how you speak, how you dress, how you show up. You might feel misunderstood by people that knew the old you, oh, don't realize this person anymore. You might feel that. They might even tell you this. You want more independence in how you define yourself, in how you show up. The deeper layer here is that you're breaking free from identities that were shaped by other people's expectations, and that's really important. So it could feel disorienting, but it's very necessary for you in the coming phase in your life. So I wish you a very happy Uranus in Gemini and all the best, Gemini. Okay, let's move to Cancer rising. And for Cancer rising, Uranus in Gemini is happening in your 12th house. And this is the house of the inner work, the subconscious, the realization about something that no one can see, but you're the only one that can see it and feel it. This is very powerful because it's a hidden house. Your old mental pattern, your old fears, your old subconscious beliefs are breaking down. You might not always understand what's shifting or what's happening because 12 houses is a little bit vague. You might feel a little bit lost, but it's happening internally. It's not happening externally. This is a quite powerful presence. It's not just happening externally. It's like you feel it dissolving something inside you, dissolving all patterns that no longer serve you. So the fears that you didn't question before are surfacing right now. The emotional habits that felt automatic is like changing, it's shifting. Beliefs that you have absorbed from your family or your past experiences doesn't fit anymore. So you might feel mentally foggy. There's a change happening. I can't really put my hands on what is it, but I feel something is changing. Emotionally sensitive without clear understanding, without clear reason. Why you feel sensitive, sensitivity to some reaction or patterns in your life. You feel like you're more drawn inward. You just want to be by yourself. You want to sit by yourself. You want to actually sit by yourself because you want to understand exactly what's happening on the outer level that is mirroring internally. So the deeper layer is that you are clearing subconscious conditioning. This is exactly what's happening. And it connects to the family patterns, how you're showing up with family patterns, the emotional roles that you have carried for decades, how you have been interacting with other people for decades, letting go of identities that is rooted there outside of obligation or fear or just habits that you're used to. So this is a deep inner work. And if no one else sees it yet, you're definitely feeling it. And it's, you need to take it easy, because anything with the 12th house feels really intense and internally intense. So I wish you a very happy Uranus in Gemini, and all the best. Thank you. Leo rising. So for Leo rising, this is happening in your 11th house. This is the house of community. This is the house of long-term goals. This is the house of your social networks. This is the house of your friends, any community that you're part of. So the vision for future now is changing. You might think that, oh, I have outgrew social circles, certain people. You might rethink long-term goals. You feel disconnected from your own network, and sometimes also disconnected from long-term goals that no longer worked for you. So this is a realignment. Let's look at it from a realignment perspective. Although you might feel that disoriented and there is a sense of loss because you're losing this connection to this goals and those people networks that you are used to, you're actually outgrowing those environments. You once aligned with them, these networks, those friends, also the long-term goals that you have defined in your life. These plans are being disrupted, and it could look like you're feeling disconnected with certain people, certain friendships, questioning group dynamics. Do these people really, do I fit with these people? Do they really fulfill me? I feel connected with them. You're also rethinking your future goals. You might realize, I don't fit here anymore the way I used to, because something has changed, something is shifting. And the deeper layer here, you are aligning with the future version of yourself. You are not aligning with the old version of yourself. And not everybody can come with you in the next phase. So you will have to select who will go with you and who you will have to let go. The social circles around you might shift. You are shifting it, like you are purposely. It could happen unintentionally, or you might be making the choices to shift away from them. You might seek more meaningful connections, authentic connections. You might release the old roles that you have played in these group settings, and you're going to redefine your future goals. So it's not a loss. Look at it as a refinement and not a loss. I wish you a happy Uranus in Gemini, and all the best. Okay, Virgo rising. This is happening in your 10th house, the house of status, of career, public life, and how you show up in public. This is a real redirection in life for you, because this is one of the angle houses. So as I said, 1, 4, 7, and 10 are angular houses, and they are more profound. There's an additional layer of stronger energy there. So it's a redirection in your life, meaning that your career might change, your status might change. You might choose to retire, or you might choose to semi-retire, or might choose to change careers, or you might choose to have 2 careers, or you might choose to go ahead and invest more in your career. There's something shifting, and it's shifting mentally first. So you might question your path. It's like you might see new possibilities there. You might feel restless in the current role that you're playing. You want to create something new, and something is coming up. The external change is going to follow with an internal change. So you might have already built a career or life or roles in your life that felt was very practical, was not, it was like stable. It was what's expected of you. But right now your mind is shifting to something different. You're like questioning this path. Does it really fit what I want to create in my life? You feel restless or unfulfilled in the current role, and you want to change that or expand that or let go of it. You could see possibilities that didn't exist or you haven't considered before. There is a realization of something new. There is a deeper layer, because your purpose is evolving. It's the 10th house. You're mentally first and then externally. So for your stage in life right now, you can be triggered with, is it too late to change? I want to change this role or career or status. And status is really important, because this is how you show up in public life. You might desire to do something more meaningful, expand your role, do something new. letting go of old roles that no longer reflect who you are. So this is not about starting over. It's about realigning with the roles that you played in public and your career perspective as well. So all the best, Virgo rising, and I wish you a very happy Uranus in Gemini. For Libra rising, it's happening beliefs of meaning, of purpose, of spirituality, of, long distance travel. It's about something very intensely speaking to you, but in a different way. It's not intense like the other houses, but it's like the word view is evolving. You're changing or questioning beliefs that you have held for years. You are seeking new perspectives that you haven't explored before. You could be drawn to learning or traveling or teaching even. Truth becomes personal now. It's like, it's not inherited. It's not what you have been given in, took from generational before. It's like a shift in how you see the world. So beliefs that you have held for years no longer feel true to you, and the culture expectations, the relationships ideals, life philosophies that you have carried for years. You could question everything. You could seek new perspective. You could feel uncomfortable with the old truth, and you might want to dig deeper and find the truth behind what you had believed before. The deeper layer now is that you are developing your own truth. You're separating yourself from what you have been taught by family, by generation, by community, by belief system, by anything. This could impact your relationships, your roles, your life direction. You might feel pulled towards learning, teaching, sharing insights with others. You might outgrow the belief systems that once defined you for years and decades and ages. So I wish you a very happy Uranus in Gemini and all the best for you. Scorpio rising, it's happening in your 8th house, a very powerful house, the house of shared resources, the house of powerful depth, emotional depth, transformation, healing, the house of your investments. It's a lot of, it's like a very heavy built-in house. I call the 8th house is a very heavy house. So it's very intense. It's the Pluto ruled house, and it's transformative. You're becoming aware of deeper dynamics that were not available for you before. So you're becoming aware of your emotional patterns in how you show up in relationships, how you share your resources. It's power dynamics. It's what have been hidden or unspoken before. You might see people more clearly now. You might feel emotionally triggered by certain things that, feels more sensitive to you right now. You could question trust and control and vulnerability. You feel like something is changing. So the deeper layer is that you are reclaiming your power by seeing the truth, not illusion. You're seeing the truth right now. And this could impact your long-term relationships, your financial patterns, your emotional entanglements with others, your shared resources, your investments. It could also impact the patterns of giving and receiving. So this is how it's going to show up in your life. It's about deep honesty and transformation. That is shifting and it's happening. And it will take time, but it will definitely transform all the areas of the 8th house for you. So I wish you a very happy Uranus in Gemini and all the best. It's happening in your 7th house, and it's an angular house. It's the house of relationships. It's the house of how you show up in the dynamic patterns with the others. Your relationships are shifting, and they are shifting through communication. You might speak more honestly now. You might challenge the patterns of relationship dynamics. You might see people differently, and this might not be easy for you to see people differently because your relationships are evolving. When truth enters, you see things differently and you see people differently. Your relationships are evolving through truth and communications. This is how it's being revealed to you. So you might say things that you have held back before. You might challenge relationship dynamics. You might feel less willing to tolerate what no longer serve you in your relationship dynamics one-on-one. The deeper layer here is that you are no longer maintaining relationships at the cost of yourself. And this is really powerful, very profound. You might see your long-term partnerships shifting. You might renegotiate the roles or expectations of others, are having for you. And you might realize where you have been over accommodating for others, over giving to others, and not receiving as much as you expect or deserve. So it's not about ending relationships. It's about shifting. It's about seeing what is real, and it's about what works for you in real life. So all the best, Sagittarius rising, and happy Uranus in Gemini. For Capricorn rising, it's happening in your sixth house. And this house is the house of daily life. It's the house of your health. It's the house of your colleagues if you're working, or the people that you meet on a daily basis. This is impacting your routines and your mental habits and your health habits. So these might be disrupted. This is a chance to break draining habits that no longer work for you. You might rethink how you structure your day, how you're going to move on with your day, what do you need to do on a daily basis that actually work for you, and create a new pattern in your life. It's your improving your health well-being, and it's improving specifically your mental well-being, because it's Gemini and it's Uranus. So some changes might create big results for you. This is about your everyday structure. So you might realize that your routines no longer support you, whatever have been. Your mental habits are draining. You need to change in how you manage your time and your energy and your health. And this is exactly where you would decide, with the help of Uranus, to break old habits suddenly that no longer serve you. Like you wake up one day and say, okay, I'm not going to have this kind of breakfast anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore. I have to change this. I have to hit the gym. I have to start eating healthy. I have to start communicating with people that makes me feel mentally healthy and mentally stable, and feel that, you know, you are feeling good about yourself. So you might feel restless in your daily life, and you might want more flexibility, because Uranus is about freedom and the life that needs to reflect of who you are becoming, not who you have been and or who you were before. So patterns that are burnout patterns might come surface to you. You might see, okay, I cannot do this anymore. It's creating a burnout patterns in my life. You might rethink how much you do for others and what are you receiving in exchange. Your health and mental well-being are going to be very focused, and you might choose yourself and you might choose your mental well-being on the account of anything else in your life. So happy Uranus in Gemini, and wish you all the best. For Aquarius rising, it's happening in your fifth house, and this is the house of creativity, expression. It's also the house of your kids. It's the house of romance. It's the house of short-term investments. So your self-expression now is awakening. Imagine that you might feel more creative. You might be willing to be seen. You know, you might feel less concerned about approvals from others, and you might turn into an authentic expression of yourself. So this is a reawakening of you. You might feel that you want to create more. You know, you're less concerned of what people think about you, and you want to express yourself in a sense that talk to the new version of yourself. So you might want to connect with things that makes you happy and joyful. You want to be seen differently. You want to break out of the self-imposed limitations that you had on yourself before. The deeper layer here is that you are reclaiming your joy, and you're reclaiming your creativity and your authenticity as well. So for that stage in your life, you might be letting go of the idea of it's too late to change, or it's too late to create this. You might think of creating something, a project that's very creative that you have been dreaming of, like creating music or poetry or reading or writing or a drama, or, you know, singing, or anything creative or anything joyful, connecting to yourself and expressing it outwards. Expressing yourself without apology. It's who I am and who I want to be seen this way. You're allowing yourself to enjoy life again. So I wish you all the best, and happy Uranus in Gemini for you. For Pisces rising, it's happening in your fourth house, and it's an angular house, and it's a very profound placement, because it's your home. It's your emotional well-being. It's your family. It's your foundation. It's also your past. It's your living conditions that you have. This is the sense of home and safety that's shifting right now. And you might think differently about family, or think differently about where you live, or you might redefine your emotional security. You might feel the need to change in your environment, whether changing where you live, redecorating your place, or finding a new family that you connect with, creating a family. You might think of having a new paradigm or a new pattern of living and connecting to the environment around you. You're building a new foundation from the inside out, not the other way. You're building it from the inside out. And there's a shift in your home and family foundation. So you might think differently about your home and family. And you might need the change, and you might reevaluate the emotional security. What does it mean for you? Do I feel safe in this place? Do I need to change this place, or change the city, or change the country, or move somewhere else? The deeper layer here is that you are building your sense of safety from within. So the family roles might shift. Your kids might move out, or you might move. The family dynamics might change. The boundaries at home might change. What you used to give and you used to extend to others might be changing now because you are coming from a different perspective. You might redefine what home means truly for you. So I wish you a very happy Uranus in Gemini and all the best, Pisces rising. Okay, so as you have seen, it's not just a transition. It's a beginning of a new way of thinking, a new way of being. You don't need to rush through this because you might notice what feels different in your mind, the truth that keeps coming up, what no longer makes sense the way it used to be, because this is where the evolution is happening. So I wish you all the best and happy Uranus in Gemini. Let's move forward. Let's change what needs to be changed, and let's redefine our own identity and our own way of being in this Uranus in Gemini. Thank you so much for watching.